Today we're going to do lesson 2 in our tutorial on using SketchUp, and we're going to pull out a couple of different tools that we haven't used yet, and we will use those today, and I'll show you how they kind of work. I'm going to rotate my building just slightly so you can see how this is going to work, and I'm going to come over and I'm going to grab the offset tool, which has the two arcs and the red arrow. And I'm going to come over to my building, and you're going to see that red line there that goes on edge, or the red dot. And when I click that, now I'm going to have a smaller circle or square on the inside of my bigger square. And that's the offset. And that's telling it how much to offset the square here. And it's not really going to matter because we're going to type in an amount. So I'm just going to press enter, or click with my mouse. And I want this to offset about a foot. So I'm going to do 1 and apostrophe and press enter, and that'll give me about a foot offset. And now that I've done that, I'm going to come back to my push-pull tool, and in this case I'm going to pull this up just slightly, and we want that to eventually go up 10 more feet. So 10 apostrophe, and I'll press enter, and so now it's gone up 10 feet. And so that is using not only the push-pull tool but the offset tool. Now I want to move this down so I can work on the top of the building, and I'm going to go over and I'm going to click on my pencil tool, my line tool, and I'm going to find the midpoint, and that's going to be the blue dot, and it's going to say midpoint when you hover over it. And so I'm going to click on the midpoint and drag over to the other side to the other midpoint, and I'm going to click, and so now I have this line here that's in between. And I'm going to come back to my toolbar, and I'm going to choose the Move tool, and I'm going to come find my midpoint again, and I'm going to click and drag up, and this is going to give me this angle for my roof. So I'm going to click and release, and there's the angle for the roof that I need. Now we're not quite done with the top of the roof. Even though it's angled, there's still a couple things we want to do. I'm going to come grab my push-pull tool, and I'm going to click on one side of the roof and start dragging, and when I do, I'm going to press the control key. And you're going to notice that it goes in and then it turns what I'm pulling out white. That's so I just work with that portion. Now I'm going to release that, and I'm going to type in 4 for 4 inches and press enter. And there's my 4 inch on that side, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to click and drag and hold the control key or press it, and now when I drag out, I get that white section, and I'm going to do 4 again and press enter, and so now both sides are at 4 inches. Now I want to zoom in here because we're going to do a couple little things, and we'll start on this side. So I'm going to rotate around, and I'm going to use my push-pull tool again. And on this little ledge here, you'll notice that my distance says 4 inches. I'm going to double-click, and it's going to pull that out 4 inches for me. And I'm going to do the same thing all the way around my building. And I've got to rotate around with it so that I get an overhang of 4 inches every time I click on one of these edges. Now, the last thing I need to do is move up here to the top, and you'll see that the overhangs leave kind of a V shape, and we want to get rid of that. So I'm going to click on my push-pull tool and come up here to my shaded area on the width and double-click, and now that has gotten rid of that, and now it overhangs it just a little bit. Now I may want to push and pull that to make it look a little better, but that's going to save you a lot of time of clicking and dragging so that that all looks the same. And so this concludes lesson number 2, using the offset, the move tool, and using some push-pull tools by just double-clicking and making it easier for us.